brands have got to place bets, I really like this one from Gap Inc.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, Damon Berger, he says it's about authentic brand engagement. The one thing that sort of stands out to me about this is we work at the ANA. We go to a lot of ANA events. We see the talking points throughout the industry. And what people so often say when it comes to working with creators or working with influencers is you need to find that happy medium between letting the creator or the influencer be who they are to their audience while ensuring they hit the brand guidelines, they hit the talking points. It's like I don't want to say they've had a tight leash on influencers, but it's definitely been more of a you need to be involved and make sure that like this is the right person for their brand and that the content is sort of falling in line with what people expect from your brand. And it feels like Gap is sort of letting the dog off the leash a little bit, so to speak. They're giving people more autonomy to sort of create their own content. And I do wonder what the risk reward is. It's a way to juice impressions, right? You can get more smaller creators creating content for your brand, but there's also a much less of an ability to manage the content that's going out.
And obviously, neither of us are privy to what the terms and conditions, what all of that is. One would assume, but cannot, fully say, that Gap Inc. has built in some sort of guardrails within this partnership. But I think one very big thing on the onset of any of these is the creator's the one who has to opt in.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge barrier. I think that, not a barrier, I think that's a huge barrier overcome as far as authenticity and can we trust this person? Obviously, if there's cash to be made anywhere on the planet, somebody is going to try and do so in bad faith. I don't think that's a reason to not do anything, truly. But for me, I think that, you've got to come to me, you've got to apply, you've got to select the brand and the product that you want to be working with. That's a lot of work for somebody who's like, the people who apply for every single job on Indeed within 100 miles of what they actually do. I think that weeds that kind of influencer and person out. And just for me, like, and this is me, this is not the ANA, this is not any of its affiliates, nor any of its members, maybe not even my own family. But I think, personally, Mike Burbridge thinks brand safety concerns have been trumped up in our industry. Like, what's the big brand safety scandal that a brand didn't have a hand in that you can tell me about?
Well, I mean, yes and no, because I think that like 95% of like scandals, brand safety scandals, to your point, do sort of come and go very quickly. And the way that the media works today, scandals are often forgotten very quickly, brand related or not. But every now and then there is that incident of a brand taking a misstep. And to be clear, at least in my definition, brand safety refers to like we talk about on the show all the time, like all the different things that your brand does, right?
Absolutely.
So even if it's a brand misstep, it still falls under the brand safety umbrella, right? We could agree with that. So I look at a brand like Target, who's had their issues with foot traffic falling this year because of some of the decisions they made around inclusivity in the beginning of the year, and how other brands sort of did similar things, but it stuck to Target, right? Like, and you can't really, there's no formula to know when something is or isn't going to stick, right? One brand can make the same mistake that Target did, and it's this news story for 3 days, and then people forget. Where for whatever reason, consumers sort of hone in on this one brand and decide like this is where we're taking a stand, and we're going to like make sure that they feel the pain. It's hard to figure out when that will happen. So you can't really have like a scientific approach to it. So I'm almost like, you want to just minimize the possibility of that happening as much as you can, because you can't really know when or when not it's going to become a bigger thing. Another interesting thing here is, the ability for smaller creators and influencers to actually start to earn some more money. That's intriguing to me. We hear more about micro-influencers and how that's really where you need to be in terms of like authentic engagement, right? Like you can go out to someone who has 1.5 million followers and get impression overload, but the person with 5,000 followers has a much more engaged audience typically because
Mhm.
they're very niche or they just have a more one-to-one relationship with the people who follow them. I just found this interesting. The article from A&A Magazine goes on to say the creator economy continues to surge with the market expected to double to nearly $480 billion by 2027 from $250 billion in 2023. So clearly brands are making investments here.
Indeed.
But this is what I found interesting. Just 4% of global creators are deemed professionals, meaning they earn more than $100,000 a year. I wonder how they determined $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
Because if I am a creator making $95,000 a year, I'm not part of that 4%. I think I'm doing pretty good for making content on the internet. You know, like it's
And I mean,
why 100,000?
that is kind of crazy. Yeah, and are you cutting off like the first 5 to 10 years of almost everybody's professional experience? Do like 24-year-olds working in a very real office doing very real work not count because they're not pulling in 6 figures? Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Just a weird threshold.
Yeah, very weird. Very weird. To your point,
what's the median salary in the U.S. right now? I don't know what it is, but I know it's
not
not
$100K
a year.
Yeah, we can definitely confirm without checking that it is not $100K a year. While we're on the subject of creators, I just want to throw something out there. This is definitely painted by personal bias, but Ryan and I are artists in our off time. We specifically are musicians. We contain multitudes. I don't want to put us in a little box, but we're artists. That's all you need to know. And for the longest time, I personally, a focus group of one, have always looked at creators on social who just make social content.
Mm-hmm.
I had like a little bit of a high horse, for a while, but really today in 2025, I cannot deny making genuinely good, engaging, funny, compelling, hits your target audience content on social and keeping up with everything that happens in that context. That's a skill. That is a real skill. And it's very interesting. That specific area of creators is where I'm actually most interested in, because there's a bit of a meta thing. It is like creating in the zeitgeist in a way where you kind of know what you're doing, but there is art to it.
Absolutely.
I'm fascinated by how that evolves organically and how our industry will influence it in the years to come.
Nicely done there, sir.
Thank you. Try.
Yeah, well, you're clearly not the only one. As Gap is making a big bet here on the creator economy. So, and we'll see how it plays out over the next few years. I am surprised no one has done this yet. So